Okay, this is volume 2 of Circle's presentation. Welcome back. At this point, please pause the video and complete your warm-up. Should take you between 9 and 10 minutes to get these 4 questions done. When you're finished, hit play, and you'll see me again. Okay, question 1. Student council wants to determine the interest level in a new 7th grade policy, which is like a rule. Which group should they survey to collect the best data? Well, we know this is student council, and we know they're looking for a 7th grade policy, and we want the best information. Some of these answers are ridiculous. The first answer that we should eliminate is probably B, the students in school suspension. That's not going to be a fair representation of the data. Most likely, those people are going to not want any kind of new policy, or maybe they want a new policy that says there's no more ISS. That's not going to give us a fair look for the entire 7th grade. Another answer that we can eliminate is A, the members of the Honor Society. Because members of the Honor Society don't represent the general 7th grade as a whole. The best answer for this question is C, 10 students from each 7th grade class. That way we get a fair representation of all of the 7th graders. Question 2, solve the following equation. 1.5x plus 4.75 is the same as 10. For this and all other algebra problems, you should be using a calculator. It's a tool. It's not a decoration. So, in this problem, our job is to determine what the value of x is. In this problem, we know that 1.5 times x plus 4.75 is the same as 10. Our goal here is to get that variable x by itself. The first thing we should do is get rid of this plus 4.75 by doing the inverse, which is taking it away. Don't let the decimals scare you. This is no different than yesterday when we had whole numbers. Using your calculator, you'll do 10 minus 4.75, and you'll find that 1.5 times x is the same as 5.25. Again, our job is to isolate or get the variable x by itself. We're not there yet. To finish this two-step equation, what do you know? We need to do a second step. So we are going to divide each side by 1.5. 5.25 divided by 1.5 gives us an x value of 3.5, or 3 5/10, which is A. Number 3. Ooh, a circle problem. My favorite. It says, a circle has a circumference of 49. What is the approximate radius of the circle? Okay. First thing that we should do, since we know this is a circle problem, is draw a circle. There's my circle. We also know we're looking at circumference. So before I do anything else, I'm going to write the formula for circumference. You can either use circumference equals pi times diameter, or circumference equals pi times 2 radius. Same thing. In this case, we want to know what the radius is. We are trying to determine the radius. We have some information to help us. The problem tells us that the circumference is 49. I'm going to get rid of this circle. I'm going to try to. So, if the circumference is 49, we can plug that in. 49 is the same as pi times the diameter. If I use this formula, I still need to determine what the radius is. So the first thing that I'm going to figure out is what is the diameter. And to do that, I need to get the diameter by itself. Right now we have pi times the diameter. So I'm going to divide each side by pi. On my calculator, I am going to do 49 divided by pi, and it gives me 15.59, something like that. Okay, so 15.59 is the same as the diameter. Now the question says, what is the approximate radius? So I'm going to go back to my circle. Okay, the diameter is 15.59, that's the entire thing. So to determine the radius, I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 7.79, which is approximately 8. I can almost guarantee you there will be a question just like this on your EOG. So if you need to rewind the tape and watch it again, please do so. You may use either one of the formulas, but the idea is to solve for the radius. Question 4. The regular price for a basketball at Walmart is $18.20. If the basketball is discounted by 20%, how much will the basketball cost after the discount? Well, I know many of you have probably gone shopping before at some point in your lives. A discount means the price is going to decrease or go down. So if the original price was $18.20, to determine the discount, I do that original price times 0.20, which is 20%. Again, using my handy calculator, 18.20 times 0.20 gives me 3.64. That $3.64 represents the discount. A discount is money that is going to be taken off the original price. So if the original price is $18.20 and I'm saving $3.64, I'm going to take it away. And I'm going to use my calculator to do this math. I'll show it just in case. Let me double check with my calculator. $18.20 minus $3.64 is $14.56. When I go back to think about this, this makes sense. If the basketball started at $18.20 and it was discounted by 20%, it's going to cost less money than the original price. If you do not know how to do this, please rewind it and watch this video again. Okay, moving on. Today, we will be looking at the same question here. Is what are the parts of a circle and how can they be used to solve problems? Please pause this video and label line segments that represent the radius, that represent the diameter, and go ahead and write your own definition for circumference. Pause now. Okay, we're back. The radius, if you remember from yesterday or have your guided note sheet, the radius starts at the center and touches one point. In this circle shown, there are a whole bunch of different radii. Line segment DE is one example of a radii. It starts in the center and goes out. Line segment DA is a radii. Line segment DG is a radii. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3 radii pictured. And we would name this circle, circle D. You name the circle based on the center. The diameter. There is only one diameter shown here. Remember, the diameter touches 2 points of a circle and has to pass through the center. The only diameter we see here is line segment GA. From G to A is the diameter. The circumference would be the total distance around the outside of the circle. And again, if we're thinking about circumference or this circle like a pizza, the circumference represents the crust. Those new Little Caesars ads that say they have 3 foot of bacon stretched around the pizza, Well, they determined the circumference of the pizza. It's about 3 feet, 36 inches. Okay. Yesterday, we looked at circumference. And the formula for circumference you should have in your guided note sheet. We also looked at it during the warm-up. Today, we are going to be using the area formula. The formula for area. Pause this and write it down. Area equals pi times radius to the second power. Not times 2, but radius to the second power. In this problem, if we were going to use a line segment to find the area, we would use the radius. So we could use this if they gave us a value, we could use this if they gave us a value, or we could use this if they gave us a value. The area of a circle is area equals pi times radius to the second power. You must have this formula memorized. Okay. So the first example on the left, I'm going to work through. It says, and you have this on your sheet of paper if you can't make out all the words. It says, determine the area of the circle that is shown above. Again, anytime you are working with circles, the first thing you should do is determine the radius and the diameter. In this case, we are given a point that starts in the center and touches one place. That is the radius. So the radius of our circle is 6, which means the diameter of our circle is 12. The problem wants to know what the area of the circle is. The formula for area of a circle is area equals pi times radius to the second power. So area equals pi times radius, 6 to the second power. I'm begging you, please, 6 to the second power is not 12. 6 to the second power means 6 times 6. You can put this entire thing in your calculator. You can type in pi times 6, and then you see a little button with an x2 on it. That'll raise it to the second power. So you can type in literally pi times 6 to the second power, and it will give you an answer. Area equals 113.09. That would be the area of the circle. Please pause and copy this example into your notes. The problem on the right also says, determine the area of the circle. Well, I see a circle. So, first thing I should do is determine the radius and the diameter. This is so simple. These are freebies. We're given a line segment that touches 2 edges of the circle and passes through the middle. That's the diameter. Diameter is 15. The radius is 1/2 of that. So on my handy calculator, I would do 15 divided by 2. Radius is 7.5. That's the information I need. I'm looking for the area of the circle. Well, area of a circle is pi times radius to the second power. If you haven't caught on by now, you need to know that formula. So, plug it in. Area equals pi times radius, 7.5 to the second power. Look how easy this is when you take the simple step of determining the radius and the diameter. It makes your life much, much simpler. For the rest of this, you can just use your calculator. All you need to do is type in area equals pi times 7.5 to the second power. So pi times 7.5 to the second power, and you get area is 176.71. If we think about circumference as the crust of the pizza, the area will be all the inside stuff. It'll be the sauce, the cheese, the toppings. So on a pizza, if it was covered in pepperoni, this pizza would take up 113.09 yards of pepperoni. That's a huge pizza. If you need to pause and copy the examples, do that now. Okay, this problem says find both the area and circumference of the circle. Which is greater? How much greater is it? Pause. Take 3 minutes to solve this. Wow, that was a fast 3 minutes, and we're back. So, problem asks for two things. It says find the area and the circumference. Pretty easy. And then it wants to know which one's bigger and by how much. So let's start with circumference. I know the circumference formula is circumference equals 2 times radius times pi. I know the area formula is area equals pi times radius to the second power. Or, for the circumference formula, you can use circumference equals pi times diameter. Either of those formulas work for circumference. The area formula will never change. Area equals pi times radius to the second power. Okay, I have a circle. First thing I want to do is determine my radius and diameter. Well, there's a point, just touches one side. That's my radius of 6, which means my diameter, double that. Brandon, 12. To find the circumference, I plug it in. Circumference is the same as pi times diameter, which is 12. On my trusty calculator, I would go ahead and do that. I would do pi times 12, and I would get the circumference is 37.69. Area formula. Area equals pi times radius to the second power. Well, because I found my radius and diameter, I have all the information I need. Then it's just a matter of punching a calculator. So area equals pi times radius to the second power. Radius is 6. So area equals pi times 6 to the second power, which is 36. And I get the area is 113.09. Pretty easy. Which is greater? Well, I'm no math genius, but I know that 113 is a greater number than 37 and 69/100ths. How much greater is it? All I'm going to do is subtract my area, which is the larger amount, minus my circumference, and I find out that the area is 75.4 yards greater. In this and all problems, if you need help and need another example, please pause it, rewind, and watch the video again. Okay. At this point, you are going to complete your area worksheet. There might be a few circumference problems thrown in. Please, every problem that you do, write the formula of what you're looking for. If it's area, it'll be area equals pi times radius to the second power. And every single circle you are given, make sure you determine the diameter and the radius. In this case, the diameter is 15. The radius is half of that. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. To determine the area, you plug into the formula. It's simple. The area will be pi times the radius to the second power. Please pause this video and complete the worksheet. Okay, last piece for today, your exit ticket. This is on your smartboard file. Number 1, a baker has a circular cake pan that has a radius of 10 centimeters. What is the approximate area of the bottom of the cake pan? Draw a circle. Label radius and diameter. Solve. Number 2, it's a little bit trickier, so I'm going to give you a quick hint. The diameter of circle F is 5. I'm going to draw circle F. Circle G has a diameter that is double circle F. So if it's double, and this is 5, this diameter is 10. Which statement is correct about circle G? So you're going to need to do a couple things here. You're going to have to find the area and circumference of each and use that information to answer the question. This concludes Volume 2 of Circle Week.